What's up, resellers? I'm Rebecca, and you're watching Rebecca the Reseller. Thanks for joining me today for another Poshmark closet review. And this one is slightly different because I actually did this as a giveaway. So I love doing giveaways, and one of the places I've really been doing giveaways is in my email list. So if you're not signed up for my email list, there's a link in the description below. And basically, you sign up for the email list, you get your free Poshmark strategies checklist. So you can download that right away. And then I send out an email every 2 weeks. So I don't spam you, I don't send out a lot. Right now, it's once every 2 weeks. And in that, I put a reseller tip of the week. I do a weekly giveaway. I share a little note about what's going on kind of over here at Rebecca the Reseller Land. And I put in a lot of good information when I have things going on, discounts, and all sorts of recommendations. So there's a lot of really good content. I always try to improve it where I can. And I have a lot of really cool kind of like sections. Each has a different theme. So if you haven't signed up for that email list, I hope you will. But the winner for this last week is Morgan, and she won a Poshmark closet review. So if you want to get a Poshmark closet review, you can find it in my Etsy shop, and that's linked down below as well. And so you can go ahead and purchase a custom closet review, or you can purchase a DIY closet review where I basically give you a guide to do it yourself. And then the other new thing, I'll just mention it now, is that I have a 30-day Poshmark Reboot, which is kind of like all of these closet reviews, but on steroids, because it really is going to go through every aspect of Poshmark that affects your sales and have you literally reboot your entire closet so that you can get your sales where you want them to be. So the commercial is over. Sorry for all of that, but I did want to go ahead and let you know because I haven't really mentioned it. Okay, so we're doing a closet review for Morgan, who is a Poshmark ambassador, as you can see here, and her handle is Shop Mustard Seed, and as you can see here from her cute little logo, it's the Mustard Seed Boutique, which is so cute. So let's go ahead and dive into the review. So the one thing I always mention to people is that if you start your name field with an exclamation point, it will bring you up higher in a list of followers, and so you don't have that, but I do like how you have it. It says Morgan with the unicorn and Posh Ambassador and another unicorn. So like that looks really cute. But as far as functionality or people paying attention to it, if you did add the exclamation point, you would probably get more followers. And followers aren't all the end all be all, but it is something to think about. So your banner looks good. It's super cute. It's your logo, and then it's bigger. This is what happens to me too, is I have a logo as well, and I also set that as my background header. And so it just shows a portion of it. And I think that's fine. It's cut off, but it's fine. It's just basically an expansion of what you already have in your avatar, which is the circle area. So I think it's fine. Now you are missing an opportunity here. You don't have anything in your information line. There should be where underneath your name, Shop Mustard Seed, I think is where it goes, or maybe it goes under the location. Actually, I don't know where, somewhere in there. But you don't have anything in there. So you are missing out on letting people know a little bit of information about shopping with you, about your shop, about just anything that they can expect as a seller experience or a buyer experience with you. So some of the things that I put in mine is I put that I'm a next day shipper. So I put ship same next day. I put that I'm a professional seller. And then I actually put that I've sold over 7,000 items. And I think I hit 8,000 items. And so I need to update that. I can't remember. But you have a lot of love notes, which we'll talk about in a second. So you've definitely sold lots and lots of items. And so that would be something that you could put in there. And I mention that specifically because you do sell a lot of boutique items, and sometimes people are unsure with boutique items. So you can just kind of help build that buyer confidence by letting them know that you've sold tons and tons of items, you ship same next day, and you are a professional seller. You might even want to put something about 5-star rated as well for some of those boutique items that you have. Anyway, so avatar, your logo is beautiful, as I already said. I love the bright colors. I love, the combination of fonts. I think it's really, really pretty, and so I love that. For your link, you don't have a link, and that's okay. If you have nothing to link to, then don't. If you do have a Instagram that you use to promote your Poshmark boutique, then you might want to put that in there. So you're at 2,385 listings, so that's great. A lot of times I don't have people with Poshmark Closet reviews that have that many because they're on the newer side. So it's great to see someone with tons and tons of listings, and that means you've sold a lot too, because I know when I scrolled through your whole closet, I didn't scroll through 2,000. So you have a large active. I could tell because I scrolled through everything, but also you've sold a lot too, because it's telling us your all-time number of listings. So great job. And the only thing, as I always say, is make the goal for yourself, to hit that milestone of 5,000 listings. 5K is a great number to be at. You really kind of feel accomplished as a Poshmark seller because you've been there, done that 5,000 times. And I just passed my 10,000th, and I guess, I don't know, the next round number would be 25,000 that I would be looking for all-time listings. And it's just a crazy thing to know that you've done 10,000 listings or 5,000 listings or almost 2,500 listings for you. It really shows that you've learned a lot and you've done a lot and you are becoming an expert, which is great. So just go ahead and look forward to that 5K and try to make that happen. For shares, you've done about 8,000 community shares. So to me, that's showing me like you're not going out there and doing a million community shares just because. You did a little bit over the amount that's needed to become a Poshmark ambassador, which I think is still 5,000. So I do recommend that so you can get your Poshmark ambassador status. Though I don't really think that does a whole lot for you, but it's nice to have and it's nice to let people know. So you got your Poshmark ambassador, so hopefully you're not doing a lot of community shares. If you have someone that helps share for you, I don't necessarily think it's great to have somebody paid to do that, but you can certainly have that part of their thing. And if you're just bored sometimes and want to put out some posh love, it's always a good thing to be out there in the community and pay it forward and help people. Like, I still do it sometimes, but I'm not doing it to think that that's going to help increase my sales. I'm not doing it with the hopes that someone is going to share me back. I'm not doing any of it with any expectation other than every once in a while I put out some good vibes. So as long as you're kind of the same mindset, I would hate to see you spend a lot of time community sharing thinking that it's going to help your business, because it's really not. Followers and following along the same thing. So you're at 56,000 followers, you're following 34,000. So it's hard to know if you are following to get followers. I don't think so, because usually your following would be way higher. So just get your followers organically is generally my advice at this point now. There are definitely things that you can do to get more followers, and there are times when I go in and follow. If I'm in the car and my husband's driving and I'm just kind of bored and I've kind of done everything else I need to do and I just want a mindless task to keep me busy, and I can think about other things and whatever, then I'll just go in and follow new closets, or I'll go in and follow some people that like a particular brand that I have a lot of. So I do try to do some following things every so often, a lot of times when I'm on vacation. So I did put in here a link to the video that I have about increasing Poshmark followers. And for those that are watching, if you want to increase your Poshmark followers, the tips and tricks I talk about in that video, are definitely good strategies to get more followers. I just don't think you should spend a ton of time doing it. Now that I've kind of gotten to this point in my reselling journey, I think there's better things that you can do. When I made that video, like, I don't even know if there was bundling then. I don't know if there definitely wasn't offer to likers then. So there were a lot of things that you could be doing now that are more productive to get sales than following, but it can't hurt. Also, I will say, because of the boutique items that I have, and you have boutique items, though there's some kids, so I don't know if this would be the same thing. Like, I've noticed that right after I share, I get a lot of boutique sales because I have lower dollar, inexpensive fashion jewelry. And so people sometimes buy those things on a whim, like they just happen to see it in their feed and then they go ahead and buy it. And so it's kind of an impulse buy. And so that's where having a good amount of followers and sharing can help when you have boutique items, because it might be a nice little impulse buy. The more followers you have, every time you share, it's going to go to more people. So that would be the only caveat to that. Last active, you were last active this hour when I just checked, which is great because it lets buyers know that you're active in the app. If they send you an offer, you will answer it. If you have an item for sale and they buy it, that you will ship it because you're active in the app. When it says someone hasn't been active for a few days or since whatever day, it, when I'm a buyer, it makes me think that they're not going to be attentive to my offer or my sale or my question. So I think that's good. You also have a lot of love notes in quantity and quality, which is great. I'm not going to click around too much for that because I want to be able to stay here and focus on your closet. Average ship time is perfect. It's 1 day, so that's great. Nice job on getting your packages out quickly. That is always awesome. And you've been a Posher since January of 2017, so you are going to be coming up on your 5-year Poshversary. So congratulations in advance for that. I missed mine. I was so excited, looking forward to it. It was June 23rd and it completely came and gone and I did nothing. And I was so disappointed because I was like, oh, I can't wait to do it. Maybe I'll do a giveaway or I'm going to just do, something fun on Instagram or YouTube. And I was so excited to be doing this for 5 years. And it completely, like, that's how crazy this summer has been, and it completely came and went. So there goes that. For closet signs, I do want to go through this. So you have one sign that I noticed, but I scrolled through the whole thing and I didn't see any welcome sign. So no closet bookmark sign, no welcome sign, and I am a big fan of that. I think that it's a nice place to welcome people into your closet, an opportunity to let them know what to expect from you, that you're a professional seller, that you ship the same next day, that you've sold however many items, and just another opportunity to say hi, welcome to my boutique, how can I help you? I'm here for you and I'm thinking of you. So I do think a Poshmark boutique sign, even if it's just your logo and it's in that first slot, that's all you need. I think that would be great. Now, the sign that you do have is right here. I love offers, and I think this is great because it's a nice, bright sign. It's cute. I love it. It says, don't like my price, make me an offer, which is great. And it says, I love offers and bundles, buy my stuff, which is cute. It doesn't say reasonable offers. It doesn't say all these rules about offers, and that's why I love it. You just say, I love offers. If you don't like my price, make me an offer, and I think that's perfect. And that's definitely the gist that I like to have when talking to people about offers. So great job on that. I do offer in here the link to the closet signs that I have. If you want to take a look at those, I do offer packages of closet signs in my Etsy shop. So as far as product mix for like brands and sizes and item types and styles, this was a little bit interesting because you are primarily a boutique and also primarily like a children's boutique with some very specific categories in there. So you have a lot of Matilda Jane, you had a lot of swimsuits, you had a lot of Halloween costumes. And so I thought it was very interesting because I don't know if you're doing like liquidation lots or things like that. It doesn't matter where or how you're buying it, but I think it's great that you have some very specific categories that you've gone deep into. You have a ton of women's Halloween costumes, you have a ton of kids' Halloween costumes. They're all up now, which is great. When I sold, I used to love selling kids' Halloween costumes and adults, and I would get them up like right about now actually. So I would measure them all in June and I would start listing them in July so that they would all be available by August, because you'd be surprised how many people actually purchase their Halloween costumes in August. And I'm a big believer of going with the entire season. So you want your stuff up way before people are starting to think about it so that you have the entire season for them to buy the thing, because you don't want to be sitting on those Halloween costumes for forever. Now, the one thing is that sometimes people want costumes year round for costume parties, dress up things with the kids. Kids always want, role play things. So sometimes they can sell all year round as well. But so I thought it was great that you have them up now so that you'll be ready for the whole season. So you are primarily a boutique with lots of boutique listings, but then you do have some other listings as well. So I want to kind of talk about both. I think that you can always expand your boutique by adding more categories. So if you like having the children's element, you have a lot of, brand new items for kids, and then you can continue to add other categories. Maybe it's boutique shoes for kids, maybe it's boutique pajamas for kids, maybe it's Christmas holiday themed things, or family holiday themed things like stuff for matching Christmas photos or whatever. So I mean, there's lots of other specific categories if you like that kind of thing, similar to the Halloween costumes, where you could pick it and go deep into it, and that would allow you to get those increases in sales at a variety of points. So one of the things that I used to do, I don't do it now, but I used to do the Halloween costumes because that gave me a late summer, early third quarter big bump. And then I also love selling ugly Christmas sweaters because that gave me a late third quarter into fourth quarter bump. Those sales went up at those key times, and that was great because that, on top of other things that would sell that time at that time, like sweaters and stuff, was a nice addition. And then when you have the swimsuits, that gives you a nice spring and summertime bump. And then if you even added, let's say, athletic wear, you might get a really early Q1 bump. So if you kind of think about it like an actual retail store, you may be able to increase sales and have these spikes based on the very specific categories that you offer. And I think that's really cool. So I definitely encourage you to think about that because it can open up a lot of doors for you with the boutique. Now, with regular things, pre-owned items, thrifted items, things that you're just putting in your store here like Anthropologie or whatever, you have tons of opportunities to expand here because you could offer shoes, you could offer jewelry, you can offer, just more clothing, whether it's children's or women's. You can always get into men's or home. So there's lots of opportunities for you to grow because you're not in all the things yet. I don't know that you want to be. I don't want to be. I think you can stick with with women's and kids boutique and pre-owned and have a great business. So just consider what avenues you like the best about the types of items that you have now and what sells the best, and that might give you some information as far as where you might want to go next or where you might want to expand. So I didn't notice any prohibited items. And as far as the photos, presentation, and lighting, I do want to kind of touch on this because it's one of the areas that oftentimes people can have trouble with. You don't, in that you use a lot of, I don't want to scroll too far because I want to go back to that one dress, but for your boutique items, you have stock photos. Actually, let me do this. Let me open this up in a new tab because that one I want to talk about specifically. But then let's go up here. So for like all the Matilda Jane, you have nice stock photos, right? And so it looks really beautiful. And then I want to click into it for a little bit more information. And I get to the next set of photos, which is just the item. Okay, great. And then I get to your photos that show me the actual item. And so I've mentioned before how I'm not a big fan of throwing things on a rug. Now, this rug looks different than the other one. And maybe it's not actually a rug. Maybe it's a furry blanket. But it makes me think it's on the floor. And so that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. This could just be a personal preference. I have put some posts out and got a lot of backlash actually from people that said like, I sell stuff and I put it on the floor all the time. I put it on my bed and I sell just fine. And so yes, every clock is right twice a day. Of course you'll make sales. If you have good items, you'll make sales. It doesn't matter where it is. But if someone wants to increase their sales, what are the incremental small improvements that you can make that make things better than what you're doing now? Let's say you make $1,000 a month. I'm not saying that's what you do, but let's say you make $1,000 a month right now and you put your items on the bed and the floor and the rug and the blanket and whatever. How much could you make if you didn't do that and you hung it up? Maybe there are other people like me. In fact, I'm sure there are other people like me that see the beautiful stock photo, and then they get to this and they click off because they're like, she just has it thrown on her floor. How dirty is that? I don't know. I don't know you. And I'm sure your floor is not dirty, but it leaves all of these questions and all of these thoughts in my mind because I know that I'm buying from a person out there. And so I can't control that environment. And so to me, it just brings up all kinds of stuff. So I just think as an opportunity to increase, you might consider hanging it. And that way, all of what I just said is negated and it's never even a factor. It's never even a possibility because it looks nice. It looks nice and it would look nice because it's not wrinkled or anything. You have it laying flat. You're taking care of the item. So if you had it hanging, it would look just fine. So I think that that's uh, my only big issue with your photos. There was one other one that I did want to mention here. So when you lay it flat, again, I don't know if this is just a furry blanket or if it's a rug, it's your floor or whatever, but when you take a flat lay, you need to take it where you are on top of the item straight on, because when you take it this way, like let's say you have it on your bed and you're taking the photo, now it's slanted and it distorts the view of the item. So to me, it's less appealing and it doesn't really show me exactly the right proportions, because here the bottom is going to look bigger than the top, even though it is bigger than the top, but it's going to look even more so that way because it's distorted because it's on a slant. And so that was one of the reasons why I stopped doing flat lays to begin with a long time ago and moved to a hanging format and model and operation. And I think it goes so much faster hanging things on the wall. So I really encourage you to think about that and look at that in your business processes and if that's something that you can make happen, because it really might help speed up your process, but it also might make the items a little bit more presentable for people to see. So that was important. But the lighting is good on all of them. I thought everything was nice and pretty bright. I mean, you could always edit with like a pick tap go, but I think it's fine. Let's see. So photo, number of photos, details, and tags. You're taking enough photos. You're showing all the right things. You're taking all the tags and, showing the front and the back and all the different things. So I think you're doing fine with the number of photos that you're taking. You may also want to consider signs in your listing. So this is something I have done recently and I love it. I promote within my listing in a photo a sign that I made, kind of like your I love offer sign, where you can show people that you offer free shipping if you do, or tell them some things about your business, that you're a professional seller, that you ship same next day. You can promote your bundle discount. There's lots of things that you can do. You can just make a sign and include it as one of the photos in your listing to give that person a little bit more information. So I thought that might be, something that you could try as well. Pricing overall, I thought your pricing was fine. There's a few that I thought were kind of like on the high side, but nothing too crazy, nothing worth mentioning, because everyone's pricing structure is different based on, what you pay, how you check your comps, what your offer to liker strategy is, what your closet clear out strategy is. And so there wasn't anything that was really glaring and standing out to me. Also with your boutique items, I'm sure you're paying more for those, and so you'll have a smaller profit margin anyway. I'm just assuming. So titles, you're doing a good job, I thought, with titles overall. They are, good, straight to the point, and you do have more keywords in your description, which is good because the description is also searchable on Poshmark. But there are two things that I wanted to mention. Like with this particular one, Karl Lagerfeld color block sheath dress, 16 navy tan. Great. Then you have down here fitted, which is another one. And then you have navy blue, tan, and white color block. So you have tank sheath dress, which is great, but you didn't put sleeveless. And so what if somebody searched for sleeveless dress, sleeveless sheath dress? So I just wanted to kind of point that out, because when you look at this dress, you think it's a tank dress, and that's one way to look at it. When I look at it, I think it's a sleeveless, and that's what I would use to search for it. And so I just bring that up for you and for others watching, that just the way you think to search an item or the way you think to keyword an item is not the only way, and there are other words that mean the same thing. You're touching on sleeve type. That's the right thing to do, but your word is different than my word, and so if I'm the one searching for this, based on that variable alone, yours would not come up because I was searching sleeveless and you're saying tank. So you might consider saying both of them. There's other, opportunities for this as well. You could also put career. This might be considered a career dress, things like that. So there's more, if I sat and really thought about it, that we could put in here, but I do think you might just want to consider going through your keyword process and really fine tuning if there's more relevant keywords that you can add, because each time you do, each keyword you add is another search that you can come up in that could potentially lead to a sale. So critical. And then the other thing was, it's not on this, but let's see, is it on this one? Yeah. So you have emojis in your title because you're noting that things are new, and that's really nice, but I don't think it does enough for you telling somebody that this is new that way. I don't know if you're meaning new to your shop or new with tags, but if it's new with tags that you're trying to say, obviously it's covered in the field by Poshmark, but I also put NWT in the title just to kind of hit it home. And so the emoji can actually mess up your SEO, and that's something that Poshmark has mentioned a few times now. So I've taken out all of my emojis from my titles and my descriptions so that I can be more compliant with good SEO. And the only time I would have an exception for that is if I'm running a sale and I'm using the emoji to say everything with a cactus is 5 for 25. That's the case, then it's up there for a short time, you're using it to get rid of things, and then you're going to move them out. But in this case, I would highly advise against having that emoji in your title. Just going through a summary here. Make sure from item to item that you address many. Okay, so now we're talking about description. So definitely, we talked about keywords. I mentioned about the sleeveless. In here, I give you some ideas for opportunities for thinking of more. And then I also have my keywords list, which is available in the Etsy shop for download. And it's also included as a download in that Poshmark 30-day reboot course that I mentioned. So those are all linked down below, but I did want to mention that. I do have a listing template video as well that I linked for you here. For those watching at home, you can just search Rebecca the Reseller listing template and find that information, because I do think it's important to have a listing template so it's easy, fast, and you don't forget anything. Poshmark has said that multiple line breaks are not good for SEO. So for you, just noticed a typo there on your summary. So for you, this one is set up a little bit different than the other one I was looking at, but they're both with a lot of line breaks. You have new with tags, line break, some information about it, line break, size large, line break. And so this could all be in more paragraph form. I don't make proper sentences. I just put everything in a paragraph, and I do keyword, comma, keyword, sentence, comma, keyword, description, line, comma, keyword. Everything is just all smushed up into a paragraph. And I try to make it as presentable for the person to read. I used to love having everything with line breaks, but when Poshmark said that that's bad for SEO and that it works against you, then I changed all of my listings. So I would highly advise thinking about that for your listings, because even on the Karl Lagerfeld one, it's the same type of thing. The other thing I'll note here too that I didn't even put in the summary is you're using up a lot of characters by lining out all of your measurements in the description. Lately, I have done now for maybe almost a year, I don't have one right here, measurements photos. So I made them on the computer. They're available for download in the Etsy shop, but you can always make your own, of course, where I write the measurements on my measurements form and snap a photo of it and put it in the photos. That way, in my description, all I have to do is say measurements in photos, and they can get all the information in the actual photo. You're not writing out all of this stuff every single time. It alleviates typos, it goes faster when you're taking photos, and it goes faster when you're actually listing things, and it will save you characters so that you can put more keywords in your description. The other thing I will mention is that your description here for condition is fantastic. So you put very good pre-owned condition, no holes, stains, or flaws. Now, I don't even go to that degree. I say excellent pre-owned condition with no flaws, but many people don't address all of those things. So I think it's great that you do, and I think it helps build buyer confidence so that the person knows that you've checked it, you're saying there's no kinds of flaws, and you're saying it's in very good pre-owned condition. And I think that makes a lot of buyers feel better about purchasing from you. And as a buyer, I really like to look for the condition description and see what the person is saying. So that's great. And then also, You might consider adding a buyer confidence line at the end. So again, like we've talked about earlier in this video, having your information line or having a welcome sign, this is another opportunity in your description to have a little line that says ship same next day, professional seller, items packaged with care, like for price drops, offers welcome, all those kinds of things. And so I have a line that I use at the bottom of my listings, and it's in every single one. And that way people can continue to get know, like, and trust with you. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And so the more you put out there information that helps calm any anxiety they might have about making an online purchase or making a purchase from you, you can kind of help walk them through the process by giving them all the information up front. Okay, that was a lot. Sold. So I always mention this for everyone, and so let's go ahead and take a look at it for you. I always say to let your sold be your guide. So let's go down, clicking on things, to solds, and let's take a look. Okay, so Matilda Jane for $34, Matilda Jane Kids for $18. So a lot of Matilda Jane. You've got this one for $62. That's great. Calvin Klein for $18. Gianni Beanie for $15. A lot, which is great. So you've got some different kinds of things going on here. Obviously the swimsuits are, selling. It's summertime. You even have some Halloween costumes already selling, which is great. So just go through your solds, because sometimes we think things, but they're not actually rooted in fact. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I sell a ton of Anthropologie. And then I go back through and I'm like, I have not sold one Anthropologie item in the last month. What am I talking about? So it's nice to go back through your solds and see what's working, what's not working, what can you do more of, what should you be doing less of. If there are things here that, you're like, some of these unbranded swimsuits are only selling for $15, and that's something that you kind of want to do less of, then don't buy more unbranded swim. Buy branded swim next time. I'm just making that up. So you can kind of go through and say, oh, the lots of the boys doesn't really make that much money. So maybe I'm not going to do boy lots anymore, but the girl lots, those sell really well. So I'm going to keep doing that. And, it's just an example. That might be your own kids. You're just trying to get rid of the things. I totally hear that. So just trying to keep that in mind by going back into, see, that's a great one, James Purse for $85. Those long maxi dresses from James Purse always do great. So these are the kinds of things that I mean. You can go back through and really get a feel for what's going right, what's not going right, and what should I do going forward based on what's actually happening in my closet. A lot of people watch what sold videos, haul videos, all these things, and they're great, but it doesn't help you really know what's happening for you. Only your solds can tell you that. So last time I checked, so let's go back up here to the top. When I checked before doing the summary, you had last shared 14 hours ago. Let's see what it says now. 15 hours ago. No, Morgan. What's going on with you? So, Morgan, so here's the difference. You did not purchase this closet review. You entered a giveaway in my email list, and so I'm giving you all my 2 cents, but you did not pay me to tell you this. So the people that pay and buy a closet review, they have a sneaking suspicion that they're not doing something right, that they have areas that they can improve on, and they want my advice. And so in that situation, someone's asking for help because they may not be having the success that they want. You may be having all the success that you want and just want my opinion just because this was a giveaway. And so I don't mean to be like extremely critical of you because you didn't ask for this in that way. You just won the giveaway. But I am going to tell you here a little bit of tough love. So not sharing your closet at all in this day is a no-no in my opinion. Also, 15 hours, that means you didn't even really share it last night either, because let's see, 12 hours would be 10 o'clock last night. So maybe you shared it at like 7 or 8 p.m. perhaps. And again, I'm Eastern time. I don't know where you are, but so it could be a little bit off because of that. But I don't think a closet should really be going 12 hours especially more, without being shared. I don't really think it should go a few hours without being shared. I think it's one of the easiest, most manageable things that you can put into practice that can lead to an increase in sales. If you share more, you will sell more. It is just the way it is. There may be things that change in the future with Poshmark that make that not true, but for right now, sharing is king. And so if you can increase the number of times that you share, you will see an increase in sales. And there is no excuse for not having your closet shared at least twice, but ideally you should be sharing 3 to 5 times a day. And if you can't do it, now Poshmark has given us some tools. That aside, you can have a friend, a child, a mom, a stay-at-home mom in the area, a retired parent that you have. There's lots of people that can help you share. And so I really feel like it should become a non-negotiable in your business if you want to extract the most sales out of the work you've already done. That's the thing. You've already bought it. You've already invested your money. You've already taken photos. You may have already steamed it. You've already listed it. Why not share it a few more times? Find a way for that to happen so that you can get the sales from it, because the work is mostly already done. Now you just need the shares. So that's my soapbox for that. Please share your items. Answering questions, I didn't see any unanswered questions. I didn't click on every single item, but in the scrolling that I did not see any. So here. So these are not answered here, but because they're related to price, you may have gone in and created a bundle to continue the discussion, which I have done. So it looks like I haven't answered a question because this woman that's asking if you do $4.99 and this and this and that, you might have taken that out of this area. So that's possible for that. Bundle discount. It's great that you offer a bundle discount. You have 10% off of 2. I think that's not enough. I think you should offer 20% off of 2. The only thing I'll mention with you, because you do have several boutique items, is that your profit margin might be smaller because you may have a higher buy cost on those. You just got to build it into your price. There's lots of ways to sell, and so you need to incorporate all of these things into your pricing structure, what kind of offers you send, what kind of closet clear out strategy you do, what your costs are, of course, what sort of bundle discount do you have? Are you offering free shipping or discounted shipping on things? And so all of those combined have an effect on your pricing and how you handle everything. So I think that the bundle discount would be nice at 20%. I think that's a number that encourages people to bundle. I think 10% is not enough to encourage someone to really go through your closet and try to make a bundle and increase their cart size. So that's something to think about. So for final impressions, I put overall, I think your closet is super cute. It's been a long time since I've sold kids stuff, so it was very cute to see. I do think you did a great job on many aspects of selling, and I can tell that you are a professional seller. I do think there are some tweaks and improvements that you can make that can help increase your sales, like adding more keywords, having a better presented real life photo of the item for your boutique items, and then also sharing more. If you expand your categories, you will also bring in more sales as well. Keep doing what you're doing, but also keep learning and keep improving upon what you're doing so that your sales will continue to increase. Thank you so much, Morgan, for following along on my journey, for being subscribed to my email list, and congratulations on being the winner of this closet review. For everyone else at home, thanks so much for watching. I hope you will like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel, and check out all the things I have in the description for you so that you can know all of the recommendations, get all the discounts, and see all the things that I have available for you. Thanks, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!